happy Wednesday, everybody. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving in the US.
Yes.
So happy early Thanksgiving. If you are celebrating, if you're not and you're just kicking it by yourself, that is totally cool too. I love it. Um, and I think that it's kind of a reminder because I know a lot of people are like, well, one day for being grateful. And I'm like, well, I think it's just that extra. For me, it actually made me aware that I want to be more grateful, if that makes any sense. Like, right?
Mhm.
Because that's the United States. We have this like kind of tradition of, okay, on Thanksgiving, let's be grateful. Okay, on Christmas, let's surround ourselves with our family. Like, okay, on Valentine's Day, let's share love. Like, but I think it's actually in like a backwards way, it's like a reminder to do these things more often, right? So that's kind of how I see it, because I choose not to be grateful one day a year, right? But I think it's just that reminder of like, hey, let's be doing this all the time.
Yes.
And it's cool to eat yummy food. So yes.
Sure.
So today, Shannon and I are going to be talking about the now. So this may be a foreign concept to some of you. I know it was for me. I was like, what do you mean? It's 3:05, like, and then it's 3:06, and right, these different things, like this is time. But we really truly only have the now and then now and then now, right? So it's a culmination of lots of nows, but right now, we don't have the past and we don't have the future, right? So it's just now. Um, that being said, we did come here to experience the human beingness, if you will, right? And with that, we do things, right? We're moving and we're going and all the things. So, how are we cultivating a practice to be in the now, to be aware of that? And then also something that I like to call be the observer of our own world. Um, Mind blown, I know, just like mine was. But I think this is really, really important for many that are in the doing, right? I know as like a mom or even as, maybe if you work in a restaurant or something, right? Like your body is physically moving,
Mhm.
right? So how are we like aware of ourselves and our thoughts and our experiences, right? And aware of the now. So this is an amazing topic. I love this one.
It's great. It's I was reading the other day that they say like over 50%, they've like from the studies over the years that they like 50% of the time we're thinking about the past, we're thinking about the future, we're not in this moment. That's insane that half of our life we're not in our life. Like we're not here. And it
Yeah.
doesn't exist. Yesterday doesn't exist, tomorrow doesn't exist. It's like it's all right now. And as me and Amber were talking about a minute ago, it's like in Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, he says in this very moment, you have no problems, right? When you think about just this, if you're literally in this moment, if you're looking at your cat, you're washing, looking at what your hands are doing, like in this moment, if you're really in truly immersed in this moment, nothing is wrong, nothing is due, nothing is past due, nothing is there's nothing happened there. It's just this moment right here. And also, all the great teachers say that manifestation happens in the now. You have to be in this moment for things to open up, for things to be, for you to be receptive. You can't be stressing about what you did a year ago, what's going to happen next week if you can't be open and receptive to the universe if you're not in this moment. And so much more stress comes from being not being here. Yeah, it's just not as much fun if you're not in this present moment. But saying
Yeah.
all that, it's also hard. I mean, it can be it's a muscle, it's an exercise. So you have to like have anchors throughout your day that bring you to this moment because it's so easy to forget because we're not taught. No one teaches us. I mean, we're taught about like what, especially like going to school, like what's due next week, what's due at the end of the week. We're always taught to think about the future or what did you do? It's just like, or what did you do in the past? Like no one ever talks about like right this moment right here. And so which is very sad, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and we need to practice that. We need to practice that more as children to be in this present moment. I mean, I remember as a kid, I had a countdown to being, um, I think it was to like being 12. And that's crazy. When I
Mm.
think about it now, I remember having like, um,
The
uh,
checklist.
yeah, on my right above my bed to check it off. And it was like, I just couldn't wait. And it's like, I
Yeah.
wish like someone would have said, no, enjoy this moment right
Just be,
now.
yeah.
You're never
Yeah.
gonna get this back. And I was always looking to the future, always for, I mean, even well into my 20s and like that is insane to me. I was always like, oh, when that happens, oh, when I become famous, oh, when I get to LA, oh, this like it was always about when I get somewhere. It was never about where I'm at right now. And that is crazy to me that I was that way for probably almost 40 years, which is insane.
Yeah. Well, it's the collective, right? Because it's
Yeah,
like, okay, well, 13, you're officially a teenager, right? Depending on what state and country you live in, like 15, you can drive, 16, you know what I mean? And then it's
yeah,
like 18, you can buy cigarettes
right.
and I mean, even if you don't smoke, it's like still this like thing, or you're an adult, and then like 21, you can drink. And so, I mean, you have like these points,
Yeah,
right, where it's like you want to get there, right?
yeah,
Because that's the next thing. Oh my gosh, to drive. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
to gamble. I mean, whatever it may be, right? And I know for myself with my children in the past, we have done that as well. Of like, you know,
yeah,
30 more days here, whatever. But now it's definitely shifting it to now. Now it's now.
yeah,
Um, that was not intentional, but that's awesome. Um, but we choose differently. You know, instead we tell them, hey, you know, like my son just turned 6. You know, and he's always trying to like catch up to his brother who's 12. Number one, that's never gonna happen in just
yeah,
in time, right? But like just be 6 now, right? Like, yeah, one day you'll be 7 and 8 and then eventually 12, but like just be 6 now, right? And the same with my 12-year-old. Oh, so in 4 years I can drive, right? Yes, however, let's just be here now. Let's just be 12. Let's enjoy this year. Let's, right? And so I think, like you said, you know, starting young is very important because there are so many, especially as children, right, of these points of like, well, you can do this then. So then let's just look forward to that. And then sometimes
yeah,
you can miss and be like, man, well, what did I even do when I was 12? I don't even remember because I was trying to get to 16, you know, for instance. And that's really important. And some people, like you said, it's like a muscle. So if your entire life you've never lived in the now, which I can relate because I was at a point where I used to never listen to the now.
yeah,
You know, maybe how do you start to do that, right? Because it's like a muscle. There's many people that go out there and they lose track of time. They meditate for 8 hours, right? Don't even know what day it is.
yeah,
How can you start at the beginning to just being aware of the now?
yeah,
Um, which is really important. And one thing, Shannon, your you know, your meditations, your sound and energy healing, that's a perfect practice to be able to get into the now because when you're in it and you're breathing, and that's why meditations, like most of them, they start out with, okay, take a deep breath, right? Be aware of your breathing. Why? Because when you're aware of your breathing, then you're aware of the now. And that's why, you know, they always start out like that, which is
yeah,
so powerful.
yeah, yeah. Your breath is now. When you're looking at your inhale and exhale, that's right now. And so that can get you in the moment. A practice that I've been doing so much lately is I talk to ChatGPT about everything. I swear it's my therapist now. It's everything. Like I learned so much from ChatGPT. It's so amazing. If you guys don't use it, use it. I mean, it's helping me shift my identity. The Yuki work I'm doing, it goes hand in hand with that because it like gives me different perspectives and different exercises too, which is really cool. And one thing I do all the time now is to be right here when I'm like, oh shoot, I'm not right here. I'm not in this moment. Is I'm like spiraling out of like there's like emotions. I'm thinking about things that had happened, whatever recently. And so like I start to like spiral a little and then I'm like, oh shoot, I'm not in this moment. How do I get in this moment? I go to my feet. I right away I put my attention on my feet. I'm doing it right now. And then I put attention on the top of my feet, the arches, my heel. And I think, oh, my feet are tingling. Oh, and now I'm in this moment. And now here I am. I'm in my body. And I'm in my body. That's the biggest thing too, is like, that's one thing, of course, as Amber knows, like I teach all the time is to get out of here. Obviously, if you're in your third eye, if you're in your crown chakra, that's whole different than being in those are actually really amazing, spiritual, high vibrational places to be. But a lot of us, we're in our brains. And so to get into your body is huge. If you can just, yeah, focus on your breath, or you could just go right here to your heart space. Start just focusing on your heart. You can go right here into your stomach. Start focusing on your stomach. But lately, it's just been really powerful for me to get to my feet, and it's just been so lovely. And even right now, I'm there right now, and it's just like so tingly and so nice. And it's just such a great practice to get out of my brain to stop because you can't be thinking about like, oh my God, this happened, this person, whatever, and then get into your body. You can't do both at the same time. And so it's just really great. You might still feel a little heightened, a little like frustrated, angry, upset, but it will calm down the more that you're in your body. And so that's like the practices that I've been using a lot lately to be right here.
Yeah. I love that so much. And I remember a mentor that I had in the past had said that, like, be aware. We were talking about awareness. And some people who, that weren't even aware were like, well, how do you become aware? And she's like, okay, can you right now, without touching or moving anything,
Hmm.
draw your attention to your feet?
Hmm.
Right? And then can you wiggle your toes? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, that's being aware, right? But the moment before you wiggle your feet, right, you bring it to that and you can feel like your feet, if that makes any sense, right? Like, but you're not doing anything because typically we're aware of, right? Like I'm moving my fingers, right? But that's an actual like action item.
Yeah.
But it's like, can I be aware of it just like resting here on my desk without moving anything?
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
And I think there's even a practice that somebody does of like you move your fingers and then you do it so many times, like one at a time, right? Like this.
Hmm.
And then you stop and then you do it in your head
Great.
as if, you know what I mean? As if you're,
Yeah.
and that's that brain kind of heart coherence type thing that like Dr.
Hmm.
Joe Dispenza
Yeah.
talks about a lot, right? Of like, and that's how you drop into that awareness, the now, right? Very similar. That is so important for everybody. And the other thing too that's like really, which I think is along the same lines, is like being the observer.
Hmm.
So when we're observing something, right, but we're not absorbing it. This is something that Yuki, our
Right.
mentor, talks about a lot, like
Yeah.
observing something, not absorbing it.
Yeah.
So this is something energetically speaking, right? But like imagine if you have binoculars, right? And you're looking and you can see like a car crash, for instance, right? Like you're seeing it, but you're not in the car crash, right? You're not even close enough to even be like, oh my gosh, like somebody's hurt, right? Like you're completely removed from, well, physically, but then also um like energetically speaking, right? And sometimes it can be physical, like it could be something right here in front of you, your coworker, your spouse, your child, your friend, like
Yeah.
whatever, and being the observer of,
Yeah.
which is really, really powerful because then you're able to come from a different space, um, right? Like let's say something or somebody says something, right, that you don't like or whatever. So be the observer of it. You're literally just watching like them say something and you're coming from like a removed place,
How do
right?
you get there
So
though? How do you get there to be the observer and not like react?
yeah. So this has been it's definitely been interesting to
Yeah.
witness. So I'm a huge visual person. I'll probably say
Yeah.
this on every single call. That's just me.
Yeah.
But it's almost like I don't remember there's a game in like the 80s and the 90s called Telephone.
Uh-huh.
So we often used to play it on the playground, like you'd literally sit in a
Yeah.
giant circle and one person would tell somebody something, my party's this Saturday at 9, right?
Right.
Whatever. And then they would tell each person and they'd put it and then because of different I see it as like different perspectives and everything, by
Totally.
the time it got back around to you, it was like, I want potato chips, right? Like something that like wasn't even close to like what you said.
Right.
But
Right.
what I see it as almost like three people removed, right?
Yeah.
So for instance, if somebody said, I don't like you to this person, and then they go, I don't like, right? And it's like the third person
Mm,
removed.
it's good.
You're not right, like they're just relaying the message. By the time you get it and you're like, oh, Susie Q over here, you I okay, and like there's zero emotion, right? There's
Wow.
zero attachment. It's like because you're
That's so
so
good.
far removed.
Yeah.
But if you're the person that it told, now you're absorbed in it because you just told me that I don't like you, right? Kind
Yeah.
of thing. So this I just made this visual up, you guys. So
It's so good.
you're welcome. But that's how I kind
Trademark
of
it.
see it as. So being like the observer and it being removed from you,
It's so good. Yeah.
right? Because we can't change what happens on the outside, but we can
Right.
change how we do it.
Yes.
So for instance, my children, right? Like I have a 6-year-old and I have a 12-year-old, and well, also I have a 22-year-old, but the 6 and 12-year-old at home. And there's moments where it's like I hear them fighting or something, right? They're like yelling at us or whatever. or at each other. And it's like I have to he's playing a harmonica for us.
Oh,
Um, right. So instead of being in that, because I go to the mom mode of like, oh my God, please stop fighting. Like you guys
yeah.
love each other, right? Coming from that, right? Which is natural as a human, right?
Yeah.
Like being like the third person removed, almost as if your friend was telling you that their kids were fighting, right?
Wow.
Like, okay, right. And hearing it and going, and like just observing it as if somebody told you versus what was happening. And this has really helped because when you're fearful of, right, like I'm fearful of like, oh, they're getting hurt and like whatever, right? And then I come from fear and then I normally like get angry because I'm like, you guys, come on, right? So then and that's not helping anybody,
Right.
right? So then I'm normal. So now I am able to be in the now and observe it and then go in there and go, hey, I know you guys love each other. It sounds like somebody is wanting to communicate and they're not sure how to do that. Like, how can we communicate in a loving way? Like maybe somebody wasn't being heard, right? Something like that. And then I'm able to come to that. Now, does this happen all the time? Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's a
But
muscle.
I've noticed that the more that I'm able to do that, the more that it becomes natural, like that observer.
Hmm. This is where one of my favorite words comes into play. Pause. Pause.
Oh,
Pause. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. Pause.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that word. I love for myself, for just to I'm a quick thinker. I'm a quick doer. I work in restaurants. So you gotta be quick. You gotta be fast. You know, you gotta be like always like even with when I met up with Hilda, she's like, oh my God, you talk so fast. I'm like, I'm so used to I'm fast. You know what I mean? I'm always on the go. I'm always like, you gotta get it in. You gotta get fast. I gotta get your order. I gotta get this and I gotta make you laugh. I gotta do a whole bunch in like a minute and I gotta go. So it's like I'm so used to that. I'm high energy because of that, I think, because of being in restaurants for 30 years. I'm sure that's a huge part of it. Um, and it's just like, oh, pause. Just like just step back and just pause. So that really helps with this as well, just being in the present moment before reacting. That's a good way
Yeah.
to even like just start to not react right away.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And this can be truly be done with anything. And also noticing that like we can be a witness to anything, right?
Yeah,
To anything and everything and constantly dropping into that. And just like you said, it is a muscle, right? If
yeah,
you've never worked out before, you've never lifted weights and you go to the gym and you do a class or you lift some weights, the next day you're gonna feel like poop. Let me just say that right now. Like your whole
mhm,
body is gonna be like, what did you just do to me, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's not used to it. And
yeah,
then you'll probably be sore for 2 or 3 days, and then you're gonna go back to the class and you're gonna be like, I don't want to do this, right?
yeah,
And then I'm saying this from personal experience. And then as long as you keep going back, after a while, you're not sore anymore. And then you're gonna up your levels and weights and stuff like that.
yep,
Right. But you had to get past that moment, that uncomfortability of like, I don't want to feel like this anymore, right? But you're not going to, right?
yep,
You're not going to.
yeah,
And because then it's natural and your body is like, cool, this is what we're doing. Every day we
yeah,
work out or how many ever times, right? We lift weights, this is what we do.
absolutely.
Um, and that's where the uncomfortability is where the growth happens, whether it be that's a physical example, right? But
Mhm.
also in like spirituality and everything like that. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It's just all about paying attention. It's all about being connected to your body. It's all about, getting out of your head. It's all about just being here now, as Ram Dass would say. But it's true. It's just like being in your body is one of the most important parts of that. We got to get out of our heads. We're so in our heads so much, and moving from that is not the safest place. It's life is so much more. There's so much more enjoyment when you're moved from your body. Absolutely,
yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
100%. And it's very interesting to watch others
Mhm.
that are not in that,
Yeah. Oh
right? Like
yes.
you
I work in
go
restaurants. I see it all day long. Yes, all day.
yeah,
It's interesting
100%.
though too, because lately I'm also learning the fact of like something that's helped me with more compassion. I mean, I have a lot of compassion for people. I work in restaurants, so it's and you got to like I can't like be judging everyone that sits down. Otherwise, that would take up so much of my space in my brain, and that would suck for my days because I talk to so many people all night. But is learning that I'm just really learning the concept that my friend who studies she studies just the psychology that she studies. Oh my God, I can't think right now. Ah, uh, Oh shoot, I
Chemical
can't think of the
signals,
name. What is it?
fractal?
Yeah, thank you, fractal. And like she was explaining to me the other day that it is that like it's like in that belief, it's like, you're in your own movie. So I'm just in my own movie, Shannon. And like you're a fraction of me. Everyone's a fraction of me that I see. So like even like something that has helped me deal with and get into the present moment too is like, being driving to work and somebody cutting me off. I'm like, oh, why did I cut myself off? Oh, that was just me. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, that's me.
Mhm,
Or
mhm.
like, oh, that's the version of me that's really mad right now. Oh, that's a version of me that's so sweet. She's a mom. And so like everyone, I'm seeing them as versions of me right now too. And so that's really helped me as well. Like, oh, that's me that's not connected to myself at all. Like that, you know what I mean? It's really cool. I'm like, oh, that's me. That's a super hot young dude. Like I mean, like seriously, like we all have these versions of us. We've all been so many different things in our souls cycle. And so that's really cool too. And that also will bring me into the present moment instead of like just judging that person. All of a sudden, like I'm in this moment. I'm like, oh, that's me. And that also like connects me to myself as well. So that's been a really cool practice to do as well. And there's so many practices to do all day long to get you to be connected to yourself, which is really cool. Cause like what we're saying right now might not work, but neither what me and Amber are saying might not work for you, but it can like stir the pot and then you can go talk to chat GPT. You can Google, you can like see like what would work for you to get you in this present moment. Cause it's so important to be here for sure.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And that's all part of that we're all mirrors,
Yeah.
right? Of
I'm
each
just starting
other.
to
So
understand that.
yeah, yeah, and that's like what your friend was talking about is essentially what it is, right? So
Yeah.
um I've
I
recently
never
told this with
understood
my
that.
children. Yeah. And I didn't really either because I'm like, I understand a mirror, but I'm like, they're looking
Right.
back at me. What? Like,
Right. Right. Right.
because I was trying to think with the brain, but like I
Yeah.
often tell my children this, right? Because one of my sons will get upset, right? Because his brother's not listening to him, and so I say, okay, like remember like how we don't like this, right? We don't like that he's not listening. So the
Right.
next time, right? It's not about like blame or anything like that, but
Yeah.
it's more of like
Yeah.
remember next time when brother's saying something, we want to make sure that we're listening, right? Because if that's what we're wanting, then we want to make sure that we're
Yes.
listening.
Wow.
Or if you
Yeah.
want him to share with you, make sure the next time, we don't force our kids to share, right? We give them the opportunity to understand that like would we want them to share with us kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to force them like you have to share, but it's like
Right.
understanding that like would I want a half of a cookie next time? Like probably. So like I'm gonna share my cookie, right? Kind of thing. But that's that mirror part of like, okay, because actually this just happened with my 12-year-old. He's like, I feel like daddy never listens.
Oh,
And
wow.
then the next day, like I was talking to him and I was like, are you listening? And he's like, no. And I'm like, do you remember how upset you were yesterday when you said, right? So a mirroring, right?
Amazing.
Of like his dad wasn't listening, but he wasn't listening to me. And so I'm like, let's just be aware of that.
Wow.
So yeah, this is really, really yeah, really, really powerful and understanding. And this the thing is it's not like a blaming thing, like even
Yeah.
within ourselves, right? If it's like,
Right.
oh man, that person is completely unaware. And it's like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
not aware, right? It's not a blaming, it's more of just a recognizing,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
just
That
like
this is where
kind of
they're at.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And that's the difference between the noticing, right, and the judging. Because the
Yeah.
noticing is like, oh, it's raining, and you move on
Yeah.
versus, oh my God, it's
Yeah.
cold,
Yeah.
everything's wet, right? Like, so that's the difference between the noticing it's raining. Okay,
Yep.
cool. And then the judgment of it.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and so that, what we're talking about here is just noticing where you're at. Like if
Exactly.
it's, if you're wanting to flip somebody off because it's like, oh, okay,
Yes.
I'm in that, right?
Yeah. 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 And sometimes we're in that. Sometimes we're in that and we
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
get out of it for a
100%.
moment. And that's
Yeah.
okay. We don't want toxic, like, being in the moment. We don't want anything to like, like we don't, if you're not feeling it, don't like force yourself. But yeah, but the more you do it, the less you'll be in that moment, less those moments will happen.
Yes, exactly. And just noticing it, being aware. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really, really powerful.
Yeah.
Really powerful practice.
Yeah.
Um, this has been amazing. Like I
Yeah.
love talking about this. And it's
Same.
really interesting as I read Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now a couple, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was like this. I was like, I have zero clue. And I knew that it was a great book, and it is a great book, like, don't get me wrong, but, like,
It is.
yeah, it was like this. I
Yeah.
still have it on my shelf over here, and I'm like, I would love to because as our awareness grows,
Hmm.
um, it's interesting to, like, watch a spiritual movie or, like, read another book again to see what
Yeah.
you're catching on next time. Just like you said about the mirroring thing, you're like, "Oh, I finally get it," right? To, like,
Oh, yeah. It's
now
trying for
hear
years.
it,
Yeah.
and then you hear it, it's like you almost hear it with different ears, but
Yeah. Yeah.
so really, really cool. I love this so much.
Yeah. Same.
Um, as always, second and fourth Tuesday, Shannon is having her started energy healing. The link will be in the description. And every Wednesday, I am doing a book study group. So we'll be finishing out this year with Love Money, Money Loves You. And then
Yes.
starting in January, it will be a secret surprise book I will reveal at a later
What is
time.
it?
The link, I can't.
Got
But the link
dying.
for that will also be in the description. I know you get to learn the same with our listeners, so I love surprises.
Yes.
But anyways, this has been amazing, and we will see you all next time.
Yes. Bye.